What's up, guys? Teddy Cornwell here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk. And there is just something about the Underdog. Today we have an absolute beast, the
Mhm.
K-Pop Goku himself. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Nyle Nayga. What is up, big fella? How you doing today, man?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing well, and I told Niall off air. One of the reasons that I started fitness, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, is I watched Niall's videos myself, and I fucking love them. The motivation, the confidence, it's all there, man. So you've really made such a big impact on the fitness community, man. So thank you.
Nah, that means a lot, bro. You're blowing me out of proportion.
And I've had some big time guests, and I can't say I've been more nervous than this one, man. You really are fantastic, and your content has just been going up, trending up. And before we even kind of go into this, my question that I've been fucking thinking about all day is, what is the difference between ramen, and I'm probably not going to say this right now, and pho? What? This is $1 million question. What is the difference, man?
Dude, I uh one is Japanese and I guess one is Vietnamese. I mean, bro, I really don't honestly know.
All right, good. 'Cause I felt
um,
like a fucking idiot. I was like, I saw it because you had your podcast thing. You said ramen and pho. I was like, I don't know what the fucking the difference is either. Shit. Felt so stupid, but
they're
whew,
just they're just both really dank noodles.
good noodles. Yeah, I think that's accurate. And now I want to take it back. Is one big thing that caught my eye about you is, as a young kid, you faced a lot of challenges, and you're open about it. You battled that body confidence, with issues growing up such as racism, obesity, anorexia, depression. You talk about it all. Now you turn to exercise, you turn to nutrition as a way to kind of go and combat that, and build that self esteem. So, how has fitness, and the gym helped change your life now? And then, why do you think the gym has changed so many people's lives as well?
Well, I see the gym as like an amazing it's really like a tool for us to I'm just thinking right now about um imagining like ancestral times when we would go out, get our meat, get our foods, and most of our physical activity was out of like intention and purpose to survive. Whereas like when you go to the gym, it's not necessarily for the intention to survive anymore, because in this modern day and age, of course, but having that maintaining, I think that drive, that natural rush of dopamine, um, that method to improve yourself. Plus, in improving yourself physically, you also improve yourself mentally and very likely spiritually as well. I think is a huge factor in, I think, becoming who you want to be and becoming who you're supposed to be, as well as having a better hold on who you are and yourself. So I just find that like I know going really deep into like why the gym is sick, but in all honesty, like if I didn't have the gym, I wouldn't have had an outlet, you know?
And I think it's so true. It's a place where we can let go. It's almost like the one place. I think Flex we always tell me the one place where you can just let it go, a controlled anger. And when we get that anger and we walk into the gym and we come out, it feels just a little bit better. And
Oh yeah.
I think you did find yourself in the gym, as obviously you did get a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, which is just fucking impressive, obviously from the Purdue University. But what's also interesting to me is you got your IFBB Pro card just 22 years of age. So I have to ask, which one was the more meaningful to you, and kind of what made you who you are today, Niall?
Well,
You
considering
can
the fact that
say
yeah, considering the fact that I don't use the engineering degree at all, I'd probably have to say it was more the pro card. Uh, but the craziest thing is, I think the thing that helped make me who I am today is watching people on social media that I was able to learn from. So like So like I started in the gym because I was bullied really heavily when I was a kid. I was in a bunch of sports, but like in those sports I was like the least physically inept person, literally the most unathletic person in the team, the person that would be picked last for all the scrimmages. And I'm sure you can understand how that would make somebody feel. And aside from that, or in addition to that, there was also a lot of racism where I was at that age. And so, oh shit, what was that?
My lights, but I mean,
Oh,
it was almost like the light. You just moved the whole room, man, with your backstory, man. I fucking love it.
thanks. But yeah, no, like uh I didn't have a place for me to improve in my I was an only child, so my parents like locked me up in my room to like study all the time, and I couldn't like see any friends or do anything. I couldn't be social. I couldn't really learn from other people, and people would just bully me in school and shit. So at the end of the day, there's just a certain point where like I was home, and this is like literally the stupidest story in the world because I'm like really embarrassed about it, but um, it was who I was, and so I like think I just really I was bullied at school, and one of the people said something like really fucking mean to me, and I went home and I cried about it. And I like really wanted some pizza that day too. And my parents were saying they were gonna get pizza, but then my mom was like, no, like we're not gonna get pizza. Like you need to lose weight because like you're fat. And I don't know what it was, but I think because I was crying about what was said to me at school, and it just felt like the last straw. And then I was home, and my mom was basically like, well, people wouldn't call you that and wouldn't say those things to you if you weren't fat. So we're not getting any pizza. And I think I just fucking snapped, bro. I think I was just like, and that was like literally that was nothing. Like I've been through so much more traumatic and painful things, but I think it was just like the very like the last strand in the rope where I was just like, fuck this, like fuck my life, like I'm gonna starve myself. And so I just stopped eating. I started fasting for long periods of time. I lost 40 pounds within like a month to a month and a half. But during that time, which was kind of cool, since I was like 12, this was middle school, this is when people in school started getting introduced to training weights in football, right? Like it was like I think it was like, well, yeah, it was like the beginning of football, and so they finally had like bench presses and shit in the gym. And my parents put me in karate when I was a kid. So in karate, you are made to do push-ups and sit-ups constantly as part of like your ritual when you start, before you start, like it's like one sir, two sir, right, three sir, shit like that. And so I'm assuming that because I was in those sports, carrying my extra body weight, doing all those calisthenics as a kid, when I was in the weight room, introduced to the weights for the first time as a 12-year-old, I was kind of stronger than most of the kids in there. Like I would bench press more than the other kids in there. And so when I saw that happening, I was like, holy shit, dude. I fucking suck at cardio. I can't breathe. My lungs suck. I have hella chronic asthma. I can't do fucking mile worth shit, and I hate jogging. I hate soccer. I hate swimming. I hate all this shit that I'm in. But I can push some fucking weight. So I went to my parents and I was like, I'll I will lose all the weight, but can you guys please just like for my birthday, like buy me some weights, buy me like a bench press set and shit. And my parents had absolutely zero issue with that, because they're like, okay, whatever we can do to get our only child to improve. And gave me that for my birthday. And so since I was 12, I just started going to the garage in my house and would train um 5 to 6 days a week under the weights, and just like watch myself in the reflection of my mom's car, like doing curls and like doing lateral raises and being like, I'm fucking getting bigger. I'm fucking getting bigger. Then I'd go like ask my parents if they could buy me like a builder's bar, and I'd eat the fucking protein bar after my gym sesh. It was fucking funny. And I was like watching like six pack shortcuts. What's his name? Athlete X, a little bit of Greg Plitt. I started watching a lot of Ice Cream for PRs by Jeff Nippert as I started growing older. This is before Jeff Nippert started doing any of his science-based YouTube videos. Yeah, he was just doing the podcasting. That shit I learned so much from. And then what's his name? Matt Ogus
Yep.
got really shredded at this one point. I don't know if I was in high school or college. Just fucking shredded pack, and he had like these big ass, giant ass salad bowls, and he basically had like this one YouTube video where he just taught people how to count macros. And like literally from that one video, I was like, all right, I gotta fucking learn how to do this. I started trying to figure out how to count macros, like track my food, do all this shit, and just kept spiraling from there.
Wow. And this is the underdog talk, and I truly believe it is all about the underdog. And it's almost like you were an underdog now, and you know what they say about the underdog. There is nothing or no one as hungry as an underdog. You might not be the biggest, you might not be the fastest, but that mentality is king. That mentality is key. And I mean, thank you for sharing that. I listened to every word. And looking into that pro card, we just had Brandon Harding on last weekend. The emotions that he shared with getting that pro card. So I turn that to you now. What was that emotion of 22 years old getting a professional pro card? What was that all like, man?
Dude, so craziest thing. Uh so my very first competition was when I was 20 years old. And I know you say 22. I feel like it was 23 when I got my pro card. I can't really remember because it was like right around my birthday. Um, but anyways, regardless, like I think my first competition was when I was 20 and I was like a sophomore, junior in college. And I just remember like looking at men's physique for the first time when they stepped on stage in like 2012, right? And I was like, damn, these guys, I want to look like these guys, right? And like this is before I even knew like anything about gear or steroids. Like I was just like thinking like I don't know what they're on or if they're on anything, but I don't really fucking care. Like that's like my dream. Like I want to fucking look like that at some point. I don't ever want to jump on anything, but I definitely will do everything I can right now in my ability to like be like that. So I committed myself to learning everything about like competing in men's physique. I decided this was going to be the one way for me to like finally stick to a real diet because from 12 years old to 20 years old I was doing a whole bunch of like diet experimentation because back in the day there was this, like some anecdotal science there's anecdotal evidence out there on the internet about diets, and there was a lot of fucking people just talking about fucking shit, right? But there wasn't really ever like any hardcore science backed stuff on what are the most optimal ways to diet, especially for a bodybuilder, right? Um, I don't know how long this was, fucking like 7 years ago or something. Uh, like there was like stuff on keto diets, there was stuff on like intermittent fasting. So I experimented with all of it, man. Like I tried keto dieting. I did intermittent fasting a lot. I tried the warrior intermittent fast where you're supposed to fast for like 23 hours essentially, but then you eat one gigantic meal like right after your workout, which was kind of fun because it was like, yeah, I'm putting myself into this hardcore trial and I'm like starving the whole day, but I'm really fucking excited for this workout and this like meal, you know what I mean? Because it's like the highlight of my day. Um, sorry, I'm going on, but I just tried a bunch of different types of diets, and finally I was like, okay, so it seems like knowing that what I've learned as being someone who is uh I guess better at science than I am like literature, English, or anything else. I understand that from engineering, energy out, energy in equals energy out. And I'm sure that applies to calories. I'm sure that applies to us as well. Maybe not. I'm sure there's a lot more complications in there, but grand scheme of things, like I should definitely be tracking my data in order to get the exact outcome I want, right? Scientifically. So I decided that by putting all the rest of my money, my college funds, into a competition, I am committing myself to learn how to count macros so that I have to get shredded for this show, or else I have just wasted all my money and then I made a fool of myself on stage. So committed to that. Finally did my first competition. It was a freaking rush, man. I lost more weight and was able to hold it off, but still look full in like the most optimal way I ever have. Because all the other times that I've lost weight, I was like doing either intermittent fasting or like very, very low carb or something. I was like, I was like trying the special ways. I wasn't just counting my macros. I was like, oh, like, let's like try keto because I'm sure this is the secret, right? Um, and so I would have like a flat physique, but I would never look like full or anything. But like this competition, I counted my macros, I burnt the actual fat. It wasn't just water weight. Then I carb loaded like before the show. I was like, holy crap, I look sick. And I ended up getting third place, and the judges the judge said that I had the most classic physique and look on stage. But the reason that I got third place was because I could have been a little more conditioned, and then I didn't have a tan, and that was my fucking mistake. I self applied my tan because I had no money, so I didn't want to pay for the actual tanners. Um, and I came out like bright yellow orange instead of like dark brown like the rest of everyone else. But learned from that experience, and ever since that first show and knowing about men's physique, it was like my biggest dream. It was literally my number one fucking dream to get my pro card. I was like thinking about Jeff Sade, who got his pro card when he was like a young kid. And I was just thinking about like how Jeremy Buendia is also Filipino and he looks crazy. I would love to look like that, and how Sadiq Hadzovic has like the most aesthetic form and posing structure. The way that he just steps on stage, like his whole stage presence, just fucking inspires me. So I would literally dream of that every day and every night. Every night I would dream of how I want to pose to make sure that my posing was perfect. And I would just keep competing. And like 4 to 5 times, man, I think I stepped on the national stage 5 times, and like 3 of those times in a row, I got basically like last place. I was like 60th plus place. You know what I mean? Where they don't even count the number anymore because you're just like, and dude, that was like the most, I don't know, man. That was like probably one of the hardest, like, that was definitely one of the psychologically hardest things I've been through when it comes to my own passion. Um, because it's like something I wanted and I felt like I wasn't good enough. And that only made my drive for the pro card stronger. But when I finally stepped on stage for the pro card, to like when I finally stepped on stage for that last show, like when they called out my placement and I earned my pro card, like I don't even know how to express to you. I think that I had become so sad that I didn't get my pro card the entire time, that in more of like a stoic, I'd say, perspective, I think I don't know if this is correct, if this is kind of relative to like the way that um like related to stoic philosophy, but I expected the worst outcome and I expected nothing. And when I received my pro card, I like felt numb, dude. I in the past I would have been so excited. I would have been like breaking up out in tears. But when I got my pro card, I was like kind of like numb in a way. Almost like it just like didn't hit me, or I was in disbelief, or maybe I was in like, you know.
Yeah.
So I just remember walking up there, grabbing it, like shaking. I'm like definitely shaking, but like I don't really know what I'm feeling. Um, and I don't think it really hit me until like 3 months later that I had really gotten my pro card and I've achieved like that one big goal that I always wanted. Yeah. So
Wow. And I mean, the emotions are just, and I've been lucky to hear some of the best of all time, Branch Warren, kept telling me what it feels like. And every time it's almost like I'm winning because the hard work, the dedication, the sacrifice, it's just insane. And men's physique is taking off. Obviously, we've had Ryan Terry, Alex Toplin, and Kyron Holden who are all competing this year. Now I turn that question to you. Is the O in your future? Is that something that you want to do? Is that a goal for you, Nyle?
Yeah, dude, 100%.
Yeah.
100% my goal.
Wow. And when do you see that being? Is that a 2023 or 2024 kind of look?
2023 is like my dream. Like if I can get it up there in 2023, that would literally be my dream. But I know realistically, uh, I like I like to play the game realistically, and I like to plan things out realistically, and I also don't ever want to push myself faster than my body can adapt, right? Because there's only a certain level that like you can push, you can push, you can push, but any harder, any faster, you incur side effects,
Mm-hmm.
you incur injuries, you incur a lot of different things. This is something I learned from like I don't know, like if maybe probably not, but like 3 weeks ago or something, I got this crazy like exertion suboccipital, sorry, can't pronounce it right now, like exertional headache because I was just going too hard in the gym. I had like maxed out on like a squat for like 8 reps, and then I maxed out on like a V squat for like 18 to 20 reps. And at the end of the set, I like my head felt like it exploded, and I just like fell to the ground, and I had like I don't know, man. I was actually really scared. I thought I like bursted something in my head. Um, but I'm pretty sure it's more related to like the nerves, a pinched nerve, exertional headache, inflammation there. But kind of like another wake up call that sometimes I'm like going a little too fast or going a little too hard, and sometimes I do need to like slow down and be more conscious about my health. So yeah, 2023 would be amazing, but what I'm planning to do is just go as hard but as safe as I can and see how much size I can gain. And when I do feel like I am deserving of the O, that's when I think I'm going to prep, like do a cut prep.
And as I always say, now we just had Kamal on the show last week, and I told Kamal, I say, Kamal, I use you every time. You are 54 years old, sir, and you are the favorite to win the 212. There is no age limit, I think. So I think it's when that muscle maturity and when that time you think you are ready. I don't think there's a point of rushing it. I mean, we have Nick Walker, who's I think in at 28. We got Bonak, who was on the show, is at 32. I don't think there's a time frame anymore for when you can go to the Mr. O. I think it's like you said, when you feel right, when you feel that training's right. So now you've done it. How can someone, or what is something someone can do to become a professional bodybuilder to get that pro card?
What can someone do to get that pro card?
What is your biggest tip after everything you learned in those trials and errors and finally got your pro card? What is one tip or one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's looking to get that card?
I'd say like knowledge and consistency. A lot of people say like hard work and training, but I think that encapsulates knowledge and consistency as well. I think smart programming, because you can work as hard, you can fucking work like to the ends of the earth. You can fucking grind hard, but there's such thing as overtraining. There's a such thing as like doing too much volume. There's a such thing as like um hitting your CNS too hard. So then you're literally like frying your brain. Smart programming, and then just keep doing it consistently with patience. And I think that's literally the best thing you can possibly do. And like obviously, of course, knowledge you can get from research, but another great way is like every great leader, every great coach has had his own coach, has had his own teacher. So research plus probably having your own mentor.
I think it takes time, it takes patience, and it takes a lot of fucking hard work. Now, speaking of Mr. O, you got me really damn excited. So, looking at classic physique, sorry, men's physique, who is your winner? Who is the big name to beat this year
Just in general, or
in the men's physique specifically? Who do you have being that top name?
well, I mean, to be honest, Brandon always has had a very fucking symmetrical physique. Brandon Hendrickson
Yeah,
in
yeah,
men's physique. I mean, he is
he's good.
he is Mr. O. But I don't know. It's a hard call, dude, because a lot of these people have phenomenal physiques, dude. They have phenomenal physiques. Um, some of those guys, like, I just can't even believe how round and full they are. Just, it's insane. Like, dude, some of those shoulders on the men's physique stage.
Yeah,
But
same.
something about Brandon's physique is kind of like it's like all his insertions were just like cut perfectly, even his abs. You know what I mean? So, um, I think based off of what I know from the last few years, considering the judges' opinions, then obviously I'd say Brandon would probably do well. But then again, it depends on how they show up on stage on the actual day, right? So we'll see. I'm gonna be at the O this year, so I'll hopefully I'm gonna watch it in person and
Yeah, and it's been insane.
goes.
We've had 12, 13 people going to be in Mr. O, so I can't wait to see our guys. And we had Ryan Terry on, and I hate to say it, I don't want to be biased just because we had him on the show. I mean, that dude is the real deal. I mean, he's a veteran going in. He is.
Yeah,
I think if I could see a one-on-one between him and Brandon, I think I'd be a very happy spectator. I think that would be an excellent call out. As Ryan, and you know, Nyle, the physique, the men's physique is changing.
it's
No longer are we seeing these skinny little fucking legs.
yeah.
People can compete. I honestly could see some people doing 212 even. It's getting that insane.
Well, that's kind of something that I'm a little bit upset about. I love seeing it constantly improve, but in the past we've consistently heard that they're going to try to make it more focused on like shape aesthetics rather than size. And I think they are still focusing on aesthetics to a certain extent, but like these guys are huge, man. Like I don't think I don't feel like they've decreased size at all, like at all, ever. So I'm just like it's conflicting for me, bro. They're so big. Like I literally want to win the O because I want to win the O. You know what I mean? I want to win the O because I fucking love this sport and I'm passionate about it, but not because like that's the size I've always wanted. Because those guys are huge, bro. They're huge.
And I think that's where it does take that time to really. We had Martin Fritzwater on the show 2 weeks ago. He talked about muscle maturity, and I didn't realize how big or important muscle maturity is, especially in the sport. In terms of really, he was telling me that 28 to 30 is really your peak time for your muscles, which was really interesting to me. So I don't think it's something you need to rush into because obviously the sport is changing, whether that be good or bad, especially in the physique. I mean, because these guys are, I mean, they're getting scary. It's getting to a point where it's looking a little too bulky, where, now they do have those huge bodies. And it blows me away every fucking time. Which, again, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Obviously, you're part of that class. So, I mean, you would have a better take on that than me.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I just love watching the damn sport.
yeah.
Now, besides being a bodybuilder, I think you also are just a key YouTuber in terms of you mix bodybuilding, you mix fitness, you mix YouTube with entertainments, with the concerts, and you have highly viewed YouTube videos. So, how long did it take to build up your YouTube to where it is today now?
So that's the thing that's crazy about the YouTube is that I've always been passionate about YouTube. I actually started YouTube when I was like fucking like 12 years old and I was playing some instruments on there. I was like doing like 7 instruments at once and then I cut into different and then I think I like removed it because I was really embarrassed about it. But I was never consistent. So that was like the biggest issue. And consistency is like everything for everything, honestly. Like you can be the greatest, but if you're not consistent, you're either gonna like fall off and it's going to end, or you're just never going to get where you wanted to. So, uh, my real YouTube consistency didn't even start till a year ago. Not till a year ago. But I think I've had so much experience with video editing and everything because the way that I built my Instagram and I blew that up was all from the workout video montages that I'd make on Instagram already. And that was like years. That was like I was like constantly editing my own videos for a good 4 years and stuff. So without like another editor to help. So I mean, there was a lot of time put into that, and I think in doing so, it gave me a better taste for how to try to ensue the emotions that I want to ensue in my videos for my viewers, right? Like whatever motivation or inspiration that I can push out there, whatever makes people fucking get that dopamine rush and just want to push hard. I think that's one of the key emotions that I wanted to produce in my YouTube videos, with also, some humor, and then maybe whatever knowledge I can shoot out there that might help someone if they don't know it already.
I mean, yeah, I think consistency is key. And I want to end this. What is your biggest tip in general for someone who's looking to be a fitness influencer besides consistency? What would your main tip be for someone who's looking to be a successful fitness influencer? And I ask that because, it's almost like when you open your phone, you see all these guys at the gym with their tripods and they're flexing. And to be honest, a lot of them don't stand out. How do you stand out as a fitness influencer?
So that's something that I actually, to be completely real with you, bro, I had to like smack myself in the face with and remind myself this year because I got caught up in I got caught up in something. So the reason that that one year I blew up, like I think I started blowing up in like 2020 or something. I think that was like my special year, 2020, 2021. That year was because I did something that no one else did. Um, and it was just, I didn't know that I was going to do this. It was just by doing the thing I love to do, I learned, like, it just ended up becoming my own thing. And that was like the workout video edits behind like the music I liked, right? The workout video montages. Like there were people doing workout swipes and shit showing their form, but like I wanted to do a combination. I wanted to do that stuff on Instagram and TikTok, but um influenced by the shit that inspired me when I was a kid, which was like Callum Van Mager's like workout video montages behind music, or like any of those other like big influencers that had some sick ass montages on YouTube. Like I wanted to do that on Instagram after I realized that I was posting exercises. So I just started doing it, and it just started becoming my own thing. And I think that's honestly the biggest reason why I was able to gain any traction, was because it was just different. And so I guess my biggest thing is that by looking at it, what everybody else is doing, you can draw inspiration, but it's also very easy to have a tendency to almost want to copy. Like you look at TikTok, that's all that TikTok is nowadays. TikTok is literally hearing a sound, fucking copying shit. I mean, there's the things that are original will normally pop off, right? But um, the fact of the matter is, even with what I'm doing now, I like keep myself on my path, and I literally just try to focus on myself, and do what I know I want to do, because in doing that, no one can be me better than I can. And that's what I have, that I have an edge on others, right? Is that I can fucking just be me, and that's going to make my content different. So if you consistently, um, like say that you're like putting out your journey for people to follow, they got to know you, they got to be personal with you, builds a connection, and then if you're not copying a lot of other people's things and you're being as original as possible, there's going to be a sense. People are going to sense that. People are going to sense that there's something a little different, or something a little bit new, and that's what's stimulating. whatever is new is fucking stimulating to people. So if you consistently do that, build your relationship with people while being that's like that stimulating new um person that is you, then you're gonna fucking gain some traction. You'll gain a following for sure.
And I don't fucking think I've ever seen anyone do a montage to 300 Spartans. What is up, bro? And that was the sickest fucking. I mean, like, bro, every time I watch it, fucking chills. And I guarantee everyone watching this has fucking seen that because that Instagram video alone has over 1 million videos. I mean, fucking awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, the one and only, the K-pop man himself. Now, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Before we go, is there anything you want to plug? I mean, what is that Young LA code? What is that huge subs code? And then, I know you have a fucking rockin' podcast. Where can we find that podcast, man?
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, so Young LA and Huge Supplements, those are my sponsors, but also literally like the only way that I make money. So it's nice when everyone supports me using my code, and that's just my first name, Nyle, Nyle. And then my podcast, yeah, my new podcast that hopefully we can get you on at some point too, bro. I love how you did this podcast, and I took a look at like your other episodes, and you have like this fucking really great motivating energy, which I fucking love. So um that's transparent with Nyle Nayga. So like transparent but with an E. And that's on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
I mean, I fucking love it. And first person to use code K-Pop Goku. It's like, I wish that was your code now. I would fucking be, man, that would be awesome. But first person to use code now, send me a screenshot. I will send you an autograph from one of the legendary bodybuilders that we've had on this show. I mean, I'll send you this Flex Wheeler photograph right now. I mean, please, Huge Supplements has some amazing supplements. I've been fucking seeing them just take over the fucking industry, to be honest with you. I mean,
They do.
it seems like everything they have is top tier. And that arachnid I see Shulk posting all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
that shit looks damn good.
Dude, I'm actually kind of shocked, but I think it's because of the variety. Like when I first saw them, I was just like, dude, I feel like their marketing sucks. Like it looks cartoonish. Like I'm like very like I'm like sus about it. But then I started trying the products, and I see why they're doing well. To be honest, like it's I had I if I'm trying to say this without being cocky, like I obviously had options for sponsors, um, and I don't know, they just ended up being like a really good choice, one that I really liked. So hopefully, hopefully other people like it too.
What's your before we go? What is your favorite supplement from Huge Supplements? I'm fucking curious myself now.
The pump serum, 100%, dude. The pump serum is crazy, bro. Like if I feel dehydrated in the morning, especially if I'm like I didn't get much food in before my workout shit, I just fucking take a scoop of that pump serum, and it's like instant hydration, and I get a fucking crazy ass pump. It's just nuts. It's fucking sick.
You're saying if I take this shit or we take this shit, we can all look like you.
I think you'll look like a better version of yourself.
I like that.
Maybe,
I like that. Ain't no one can look like you, brother, because you, sir, are on the future way to becoming a Mr. Olympia. I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. I mean, it is the passion. It is the drive. And I mean, shit, if Kevin Levrone fucking trained 4 months and still was the fucking one of the best, shit, anyone can do it at that point, I guess. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the K-pop Goku himself. Now, it's such an honor, such a privilege. Guys, do not forget to use his code. Please go check out his fucking podcast. I listened to the one with I think your sister today, and I mean, it was just fucking funny. I was doing cardio, and I was just rocking to it, man. So keep up that great work.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Until next time, guys.
Yeah.
Underdog out.